Hello, everyone, and welcome back to session 119 of Pokerole, where our Sea Spray adventures are continuing. As they do whenever we go to Sea Spray, they take multiple sessions, but that's part of the fun of that busy, big, bustling town. We have multiple little scenarios going on. Well, Brooke's not really much up to much, but the other party members are doing some shenanigans and events, so we'll see how those progress tonight. Also, my voice is better than last session. I am slightly less sick. Not all the way better, but getting there. I hope, at least. But before we begin, of course, if you like the video, do think about giving it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can think about doing that as well if you want. But if you really, really want to help out, like really, really super help, think about coming over to Twitch. We're trying to reach partner over here, but of course we cannot do that without more viewers. So if you want to come by, whether to lurk or to talk, think about doing so, because it does make a huge difference, and we would honestly love to have you. Honestly, most of our streams lately, they have been below 30 viewers, and that has made me sad, and I would love it if more people showed up. So if you are listening and you have the time, think about coming by. It honestly will cheer me up a little bit. So if you want to, anyways. We also have a pretty cool Discord community if you want to check that out, and there's a Pokerole Discord you can access off of that as well for our game. There is a coffee link if you want to have directly monetized my content. There is a Streamlabs merch store if you want to buy some cool stuff. And I will also mention real briefly that the Waking drive I was doing last year had its final bonus picture finished recently. So there's also a site you can view that on if you are curious. And all the art and stories on that, it's really cool. So go check it out. Actually, I'll put this here for the chat for everybody too, in case you're curious. And of course, lastly, we also have the Poker Pioneers wiki link for our Pokerole game. If you want to catch up on recaps of episodes of having to watch them, or you want to read about character bios and stuff, it's all there. Go check that out as well. Links are all in the description of the video. Enjoy them. They are good. But how is everybody on the table today?
Pretty swap.
Hanging out? Chilling out?
Yeah. Had a good. Oh, you know what finally happened? My hours in VR chat on Steam have surpassed my hours in Dead by Daylight.
I guess that's a milestone for you. Oh goodness. Let's see. I think I have some art to share while we do an intro, but I don't remember exactly where I left off on art. I think it was at the New Year's picture. So I will share from there.
Also, once again, before I start the recap, thank you, Enio, so much for the summaries that you do, because they save my sanity by a vast margin.
They definitely must, like, before the recaps existed, I guess you had to take out time before the session to, like, just recap yourself.
There was a period of time when I didn't have to, but that was for something like the first 50 or 60 episodes. And then it's like, okay, now I need to actually start rewatching things so I remember all of it.
That's
especially
fair.
after a hiatus.
Yeah. I'll just share this right now. This is Enio art. He did Enio art. He drew Tucker as a nerd because my voice was nerdy and weird last session due to my illness. I guess, did Tucker just sound like Tucker but nerdier? I guess that was the vibe. That's what I heard anyways. So Enio drew that, and also Enio drew the Litwick, because those are becoming interesting characters for the RNH scenes. So, lastly, I will also share, since Car made a cute Charmander waiter, Zabachi drew that for the thumbnail of last session.
Which I think is adorable. I love them. I couldn't think of any other Pokemon.
That's fine. Charmander is... I mean, I'm sure Kyrio appreciates that. That's what you default to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm biased, okay? My first Pokemon was a Charmander.
Yeah, same.
Mine was Squirtle, actually.
Oh, really?
But then the Quill.
I wanted to pick Charmander, but people always told me not to pick Charmander.
Because they're a bad starter for Gen 1, yeah. At least at the beginning of the game.
And then they let you coast through the other 2/3 of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of fixed it later on in the remix by giving him Iron Claw.
Yeah.
I
But
remember
yes.
that actually. Yeah.
I shall do the recap now.
Okay.
I just want to pat them on the head. Also, I believe with the voice I gave them, they might not actually be a boy.
Oh.
If I remember right.
Who's to say?
Does it matter? Will they appear again? Who knows?
Is Olivec supposed to be Shink, by the way? What the hell is Shink? Oh, shiny. Okay. Shink.
Anyway, last time was session 118, Sharing Scandals with Candles. After arriving at the arena with Chimchar, Tucker decides to search for anyone who would know if Brooke was there. They end up speaking with the Machamp, who lets them know that Brooke had just left before Tucker arrived. Then Tucker decides to ask if Jocelyn is still there, but the Machamp unfortunately has to return back to work and can't immediately remember if Jocelyn is there. Tucker looks around the arena and finds Jocelyn by the aquatic Pokemon area, practicing with some other Pokemon. Trying to avoid bringing too much attention to them, Tucker asks the Chimchar to wait while he approaches Jocelyn on his own, which the Chimchar agrees to do. He is able to successfully signal Jocelyn to speak with him, explaining that he has an addict following him and he'd come here to get help from one of the Crocs. Jocelyn, immediately assuming that he wanted Tucker to knock the Chimchar's lights out for stealing from him, tries to march over to the Chimchar, but stops when Tucker explains he just wants to take them to the hospital. Now understanding, Jocelyn approaches the Chimchar with a serious expression and says he can show the Chimchar how the candy gets made. This immediately grabs the Chimchar's attention, and they happily follow Jocelyn to a medical room containing an Audino and Venomoth. Jocelyn requests that the two wait until he can tell the Audino to leave the room before entering the room themselves, and Jocelyn requests the Venomoth to use sleep powder on the Chimchar before they notice and try to escape the powder's reach. The Chimchar catches on at the last second, but cannot do much to get away before falling unconscious. The two thank the Venomoth for their assistance, and Jocelyn is promptly told to go get the Audino by the Venomoth. After better explaining the situation to Audino, they explain that the arena doesn't have any resources that would be used to try and detox the Chimchar. Tucker asks if this situation is common, and the three adults look at the innocent child and explain that what the Chimchar was ingesting was a drug that can slowly degrade a Pokemon's health, while also being addictive enough to make them want to continue eating them despite the consequences. Jocelyn is then told by Audino to take the Chimchar to the hospital, and that they will explain what Jocelyn had been doing, as Jocelyn apparently received some negative attention for frequenting Ebbing Tide. Jocelyn reluctantly agrees to do so, picking up the Chimchar and taking them with him and Tucker to the hospital. It's important to note, there was an entire scenario there where the Audino and Venomoth heavily guilted Jocelyn by implying that he intended for Tucker to carry the Chimchar to the hospital instead of him. It was amazing. Meanwhile, Ralph and Rita are continuing their separate investigations of the restaurant. Ralph, unable to see Rita, tries to send a signal to them to let them know he'll be attempting to gather more information, though he cannot tell whether Rita received it or not. Ralph then calls over the Mr. Rhyme, who had directed him to the table, and politely requests that he be moved to one of the tables in the back of the restaurant. The Mr. Rhyme reaches out their hand to receive some additional payment, and are more than satisfied with the amount Ralph assumes he has to pay before escorting him to the back rooms. Oh no, the back rooms! The corridor they pass through is more dimly lit and compact, and numerous fancy paintings of various patrons on the wall, including the Persian and Roserade from the club, leading to a door that opens to a similarly lit room with Litwick serving as lighting, and the tables separated by tall barriers. As Ralph passes by the various tables, he notices one illuminated by an orange flame, which has the Wooper sat at it with two Wobbuffet and the Zoroark Ralph recognizes as the owner of Obsidian Sky. He tries to maintain a low profile by engaging in friendly banter with the Litwick stationed on his table, while attempting to listen in on the Whoopers' conversation. The Litwick teases Ralph, presuming them to be some gambler who doesn't understand the proper rules of the rich, and mentioning that he is not anything like the family of the Whooper, who are currently the richest family in Seaspray. Meanwhile, outside the restaurant, Ryda tries to approach the restaurant entrance nonchalantly, while remaining prepared to dodge another projectile should the Klowitzer attempt another shot. Seemingly not wanting to fire at Ryda in a crowded street in comparison to an alleyway, no shots are fired, allowing Ryda to enter the restaurant to try and meet with Ralph. They ask a Charmander who seems to be one of the staff where Ralph's location is, and is told that they were taken to the back room by the Mr. Rhyme. Ryda follows the direction the Charmander pointed them in, but finds that the door at the end of the corridor is not moving despite their attempts to open it. They decide to knock and wait for a response, realizing that the door is being held shut by a psychic force, and not wanting to use any brash methods to force it open currently. They are then soon let in by the Mr. Rhyme, presuming them to be Ralph's companion, and warns them to mind their manners. As Ryda is brought in, Ralph notices the other table goes silent until Ryda is sat at Ralph's table. Ralph introduces Ryda to the Litwick, who claims to know who Ryda is after overhearing about Ryda's earlier interaction with the Whooper. Ralph tries to pry more information, but the Litwick sees right through Ralph's attempts, and recognizing him as a former arena champion. Ralph attempts to get more information by reading the Litwick's mind, but immediately realizes that it will be impossible to do so as some other force blocked any attempts. Ryda, meanwhile, inquires as to if the Litwick knows anything about Philia the Roserade, to which they learn that they were an ex-singer at the restaurant back when Seaspray was first formed, but had later left her job to move on to other things. After a few more attempts to pry information, the two notice the Zoroark leaving the restaurant, needing a cane to walk after the injury sustained following Team Cheer's visit to Obsidian Sky, and decide to approach the Whooper's table, now that it is just them and the Wobbuffet.
I like how that recap makes it sound like we beat the fuck out of Zoroark.
It does. But hey, if y'all want to know what actually happened, go watch the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was a doozy.
It was.
Obsidian's guy was so great.
I just thought of something, and if I say it, Enio will feel bad, but I just realized, you know how some wikis, like, with their recapping an episode, they reference another episode, they'll, like, do a little hyperlink back to that episode? You know, like the little infer thing? That would be kind of neat to put in the recaps.
That would be a lot of work.
That would be...
For how many episodes?
You'd have to memorize every episode.
There would be a lot of work, but, like, I don't only suggest it for, like, major references, but...
And that mostly only works when episodes are separated.
True.
And right now we've just got a big list of them.
Yeah, it's a big list.
True. You can hyperlink to a part of a page, but it is a little messier.
If more people decided to work on the wiki, because I understand that is a massive effort of time and energy. And again, thank you, Enio, for your summaries. They are... You're a miracle worker.
So I'm merely suggesting an additional idea for, like, if we get more people on or something.
Yeah. Like, if there was ever a point where we moved wikis so that we had something that was less filled with ads...
less awful than fandom.
Yeah, it didn't used to be that awful.
On mobile, if you load fandom, sometimes you just get an ad that literally covers 50% of your entire phone screen, and there's no way to turn it off, and you just have to reload the page if you actually want to read anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Refresh or hope it goes away. That's tangents aside. Oh right, we have the teeny tiny Litwick here. I forgot. But yes, Ralph and Ryda were approaching the Whooper's table.
Before we make it to the table, just like on the way there, Ryda will turn to Ralph and sort of ask, "How would you prefer we approach this?"
That's a very good question.
In the end, our goal is simply to find where their boss is located.
I got it. What if we just join them?
In what manner?
Oh, we'd say we want a piece of the action.
That could work. I shall go along with whatever you decide to go with.
Do you want my advice?
No.
I was thinking.
Very in character, to be honest.
Fuck off, Ligwick. You had enough scenes last episode.
I wrote.
I have to cover my mouth. Oh my god. That killed me.
No.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. That's totally fine. This session is off to a great start.
Oh, man. Not particularly, but, if you were to give some advice, what you got?
Oh, I was just going to suggest you go home.
Oh, well, no. We're not going to do that.
Like I
Clearly not.
predicted, their advice is not useful.
Look, I'm not an advisor or a therapist.
But you are a cutie.
They squint at you, Ralph. They adjust their bow tie and squint with a tiny frown.
Oh, that's great.
And that, more than Rida, seems to have shut them up.
Alrighty, I suppose you better have a seat then. Let's see. Recognize you. Yeah, yellow.
Oh, you're just gonna straight up take the Zoroark seat, are you?
Probably be more polite to ask if we can take a seat and speak.
I feel like I'm about to, but like you touched me on the back or something to like remind me that that's I
Like
don't
Ralph
like it.
manners.
oh right. Salutations, Mr. Successful Woopermon.
The Wooper barely seems to acknowledge your very presence as they are being fed by one of the Wobbuffets since they lack arms.
Logical.
They have stereotypical spaghetti and meatballs because I can't remember any fancier pasta dishes off the top of my head.
Mayhaps we have this seat? And sit in your presence, which would be quite the honor for us. And I keep using Doreen's voice and not Ralph's voice. But,
The other Wobbuffet dabs the corner of the Wooper's mouth of marinara sauce with a napkin. The Wooper swallows. They have that unsettling smile. And who might you be?
I am a successful and powerful arena champion and pioneer.
He also happens to be my employer, as I mentioned before in the alleyway.
Ah. I was not expecting to see you here, Miss. Is it, Miss?
Whichever you prefer.
Yeah, we got connections.
After all, it pays to be polite. And at the least, you asked. So go ahead. Take a seat. Though please, make it worth my while.
No, of course, of course. Well, yeah, he might, but it's a way for me to, like... it's a way for me to, like, leverage importance without actually lying.
No, it seems like a
I'm
logical way of Ralph handling it, honestly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
But yeah, well, yeah, we shall take a seat. Oh yes, we'll make it worth your while. You know, if you can make it worth our while. I was thinking, I kind of want to join the winning team. You know, you think you got this, this whole city under your non-existent thumb, as it were.
Both Wobbuffets turn their heads slowly to stare at Ralph. The Whooper has not adjusted the positioning of their head. They're just staring straight ahead between Ralph and Ryda at the moment. Are the pioneers not paying enough these days?
Not
A shame.
us.
We have heard that they are on hard times.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Not as bad as it's sensationalized, I'm sure. But, you know, I wouldn't hate having, lost with a little more to give, and I do the finger money thing. Of course, I'll pull my weight, too. I have a lot of weight to pull. You know, a game can never have enough muscle, or enough brains. Right? Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. Ralph hasn't crossed the threshold yet.
I'm trying to skate on troops here.
This is true. But I happen to already have muscle underneath my employ. Why do I need to double up on muscle when I could use... Their head turns very slowly towards Ryda. Brains instead.
Implying I lack friends.
They don't know Ralph Steele at all.
Mm-mm.
I don't think Ralph knows Ralph Steele.
This frightens me.
Ryda looks towards him and just sort of says, I appreciate the flattery.
What exactly do the two of you bring to my table that I do not already possess? If you are seeking to leave the pioneers, then you won't have any access to their resources. And if we are being frank here, one of the Wobbuffets says, yes, boss. Sorry, gotta do a voice for it. Yeah, boss? Not you, Frank. Sorry, boss. The Pioneers are one of the few resourceful organizations that we do not yet have access to.
I would if I was, say, a double agent. I mean, I'm big enough to be double.
Their smile widens ever so slightly. Go on.
Yeah, you know, have a guy on the inside.
So
Tell you
this-
stuff.
I don't pay attention personally. Before you continue with your bluff, deceit, lie, whatever it is, please roll me a smart contest perform.
Yeah, my weird, like, half-truth. Because I kind of would be a double agent, just not on his side.
Whatever yarn thou may spin.
Keep on spinning the half-truth. They're working.
At least it looks like they are.
Ah, there's so many dice and got such a low number.
Please proceed.
Let's see here. 'Cause I'm kind of making this up on the spot.
That is okay. Whatever you choose to make up, that roll is just influencing the reaction.
Yes. But, you know, could be beneficial to you to have a set of eyes and ears on the inside. After all, like you said, they're one of the few organizations that can rival your own. So, knowing what they might or might not be up to could be prudent to whatever you may or may not be up to.
The Whooper gives a nod to the Wobbuffet on his left, which is to you, the Wobbuffet on the right,
Mm-hmm.
and the Wobbuffet slides a poke over to the Litwick on the table. That takes it. I can verify they are who they say they are. That much information we have. Excellent. Well, if you really are interested, I suppose we could have a use for the both of you. After all, apparently, their smile widens a bit more, almost seeming to strain at the frame of their face as they stare through both of your souls.
Look on you, right? It doesn't have a soul.
Some foolish brutes managed to undo my muscle, and it will take some time for them to recover. So,
It was great.
it would be prudent to hire muscle and brains to go along with it this time.
Oh, that's funny.
You got it.
Ryder will chime in. May I ask, what exactly took down your muscle, so we know how to deal with them?
Oh boy. You're gonna have to give me a cool contest perform on this one.
Okay.
Oh gosh. We're replacing the two people we beat.
I see two possibilities of this. Somehow they didn't know, or somehow they do, or they do know, and this is just that's
Okay.
even worse.
There's a
perhaps.
good.
Oh man, this is hilarious. We kicked the shit out of a couple of guys and now we're taking their place.
I mean, to be fair, in this universe, if you beat up somebody in the Mafia and say, like, I want to place your muscle, I beat him up, it kind of checks out a little bit.
I am unsure. We are currently making inquiries with our Wobbuffet, who was there at the time. But with such a lack of information, it would be imprudent to continue going on without at least a temporary replacement. They nod to Frank. If you would. Are you sure, boss? Are you questioning me, Frank? They turn their heads slowly. You could swear that the Wobbuffet named Frank has been afflicted with a frozen condition. Of course not, boss. Just making sure. You know my hearing's not always so good. I'm aware, Frank. But that's okay. Your eyes are even better than mine. You have no idea how this could be possible given how Wobbuffet are. The Wobbuffet reaches into their nice overcoat and pulls out a bag of poke that they set on the table and slide over to the both of you.
Very nice.
Consider this an advance. Inside that bag, you will find a card with an address on it. Please, come there tomorrow. I will be there to perform a more formal meeting. Say, lunch.
Oh, I do like me some lunch.
Oh, I am sure you do, my oversized friend.
Oh, you're my friend too.
Ryder will gently slide over the poke and stuff.
If you do not show up, please be aware, my agents can and will retrieve your advance.
I can assure you we will be there. I will make sure of it.
Very good. My first impression of you was that you are quite responsible.
Really? Not in character. I'm just like, I think this is the first NPC that their first impression was, yeah, responsible.
Oh,
I
they were
assumed that
speaking
was-
specifically about Ryda.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ralph.
Sorry,
I'm
Ralph. I know you
sorry.
want some credit there, but
That would have been kind of hilarious, but unfortunately you did not roll high enough on your bluff.
as a reminder, of course, Ryda has interacted with the Swooper before, after all, due to that one shakedown that Ryda paid for, basically, to stop it.
Yep. And now the story loops back around where Ralph is the one who paid off that guy's debt.
Actually, perhaps a bit earlier than lunch.
You thinking brunch?
What do you think, boys? Haven't had brunch in a while, boss. Yeah, could be a good change of pace. I do indeed like the sound of French toast. Well, brunch it is. After all, we could use your help with the acquisition that your associate ever so kindly gifted us the other night.
Alright. Alright, it's a date.
Now, if you don't mind, the boss would like to finish eating. Food isn't as good, call.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Of course. We look forward to working with you. And Ryder will politely stand.
Yeah, I'll stand up and yeah, be good. I'll waddle out of there.
Yep.
Who's the first to leave?
Ralph. Ryder's going to be behind Ralph.
Hey.
So, Ralph, you're gonna leave.
Alright.
Ryder, you're gonna try and follow after him. The door shuts in your face. It's not quiet either, Ralph. You're gonna hear it.
So I'm gonna turn around and see that the door is shut between us. I'm gonna see if it locked. Like, I'm gonna like tug on it a bit, like not trying to rip it off. Just like, did they just shut and lock the door behind me?
It seems locked to you. You are unable to get it to open. Kurdia. The Wooper calls to Ryder.
Ryder will calmly turn and return over to him.
I do hope that you aren't trying anything. Because let me make myself very, very clear. You do not want me to be an unhappy Wooper. Have you seen an unhappy Wooper?
I cannot say I have.
And no one ever will. Have a good evening, Ryder.
You as well.
Ralph, if you're still tugging on the door at this time, it opens.
Yeah. No, I would have just been kind of waiting, like listening for any like screams or anything, just sort of being ready by the door.
Ryder's going to saunter on out.
Excellent. Yeah, good. You're okay.
Oh, I made
The
it a
door
promotion.
simply got jammed. Let us proceed.
All right. So there's a. Alright, so there's a card inside of a dress in the bag. I'm kidding.
There is an address card in the bag, which, by the way, the bag contains a grand total of 300 poke.
Woo!
Honey.
I am the king of spending and earning random amounts of poke.
That's a good visual. Fair said I could just see Whooper's face slowly turning to a frown like Baldy. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I get from that statement.
I'm just handing the 300 to Ryder for now, because it's less crowded than Ralph's money.
Yeah, I've got like so many different denominations here.
And you have 2 stacks of 10 for some reason.
And 2 stacks of 1.
Fair enough.
I don't know the reference to Bali, by the way.
When in Baldy's Basics, when you get the first answer wrong, you get a close-up of him going from just normal to just slow, big frown. Just like... Just a smooth animation to unhappy mode.
Okay. Well, the address is, as you may have surmised, Sandbar Blue.
Yep.
But as you leave, You do pass by the Mr. Rhyme waiting just beside the curtain leading to the back hall. They give you a bow and a friendly enough smile and tip of the hat.
Ryder will bow in return.
Yeah. I'll hold out my hand for a handshake. It's very good. I would definitely recommend this place to all my friends, and you did a super duper job.
They scribble out on their little thing, "It was a pleasure." Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Kyrio was unable to extend the hotel stay, so they disconnected.
They were kicked out of the session as well, Zotel. I guess I'll do a table save, which I always do when somebody does a random drop. There. It's like, is this a January save? Yeah, it is a January save, just barely. I will go see what's up with Kyrio. Hold on.
I find it interesting how the Whooper was so intense about Ryder. Not Ralph, who's clearly just a goofball, but Ryder, who hasn't said mostly anything in that conversation. You better not lie to me, Curlia, who hasn't said more than like a sentence.
But he had more interactions with Ryder, though, technically, because of the other time.
Yeah.
Also, with just like one sentence.
He doesn't know what Ralph's deal is, which is kind of exactly the way Ralph wants it.
Oh no!
So it's pretty clear that that anything Ryder is held responsible for anything Ralph says in this situation too. I think. So.
Yeah, a lot of the goofiness that Ralph exhibits, like a lot of it that is just his personality, but a lot of it is purposefully misleading. Like,
yeah, the whole playing dumb thing.
It's a facade that Ralph has had going for so long. It's not even really a lie.
Yeah.
I think he's just more angry at me because Ryder is serious and not goofy. So it's like, okay, if Ryder is seriously going into espionage, that is of concern. But if Ralph, maybe we could deal with Ralph. He seems a bit more manageable.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword. Like, I act like Ralph acts goofy, so you don't take him seriously as a threat or as someone who's capable. But it also kind of means he's less likely to be granted access to areas and locations that generally capable people are let into.
So,
but I'd say, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say the Whooper had every inclination and possibility to not hire you both, but they did anyway.
Indeed. So, so it occurs to me after we're like, a little further down the street. So it occurs to me that, we're supposed to be setting a trap, but this could be a trap for us.
I do believe it might be a trap.
Also, I don't know if you picked up on this, but those, and I'll do a quick look around. Pretty sure those little candle guys are, kinda everywhere.
From what I understand, that place seems like a very well-known utility of espionage. The Litwick share information and sell it off to whoever pays for it.
Yes. I don't think they're just
I told them
there.
information wasn't relevant.
Yeah. I don't think those Litwicks are just at that location, though. They seem to know what's going on elsewhere.
It's Kyrio.
Kyrio. He had a slight internet disconnect or power or net outage, I guess.
Yeah.
That sucks. At least it wasn't very long.
Yeah, it
Right.
seemed to have come back.
So, we go back to the hotel and wait for tomorrow, or
I suppose it would be best to come up with a plan for how we shall approach tomorrow.
Right.
So Ralph and Ryda are going back to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We are gonna move over to Tucker and Jocelyn. What song do we have going for them?
Last time we had a slightly silly song because it was like we were doing like Jocelyn was doing, you know, like little deception rolls and such.
I remember the melody. I'm trying to remember what the song itself was.
Oh yeah, it was. We were using the Tiny Woods reorchestrated song, so that would be. I think that may not be fitting for just a walk back to the hospital, though. Maybe just go back to Sea Spray for now.
Yeah. You are right.
I had an idea.
Oh.
How much, hypothetically, how much would fancy clothes cost?
That depends on how fancy you want to go.
Talking like the mobster style clothing.
That still has a range, but that would range anywhere from 25 to 100 poke.
Okay.
Minimum. If you want to be real fancy, it would be more than that. But more than that would probably be overselling it a bit.
Yeah, I'm not looking for like hyper fancy or anything. Just sort of a bit classy, you know?
Effectively, kind of like the suit that the Wobbuffets are wearing.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you shop around with Ralph, you should be able to find, or even without Ralph. Ralph doesn't have to go on the shop-a-thon with you. You should be able to find something.
Yeah, I already got the most swag clothes imaginable.
Yeah, Ralph already blends in, but I figured Ryder could do themselves up a bit.
Sure. Give me a second.
Though, because of how the Whooper interacts with Ryder, I'm gonna have Ryder look for a dress.
I've made a minor error. Hang on.
I've got pinstriped dress. That's kind of fun.
One thing I was going to prompt was that if they're going back to the hotel, they're probably going to run into Brooke. And perhaps they would consider involving him on what they're doing to some extent.
Oh, this is... they're leaving the restaurant well after Brooke has gotten back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Don't worry, though. So, Ryda, can you please roll me those d10s as percentiles? The dark-colored one is the 10 slot. And you can tell me the result in a minute. Tucker and Jocelyn. I don't know why I'm calling you Jocelyn. Jocelyn carries the chimchar for Tucker all the way to the hospital. It is not the shortest of walks, but the Chimchar is out. And you get more than a few odd looks, and at one point, a Magnemite officer stops you to ask what the heck is going on. And Jocelyn struggles to explain. And he just settles on, we're taking him to the hospital. Which the Magnemite seems to accept, and then proceeds to give you directions to the hospital that you're already on the way to.
As Jocelyn stumbles through the explanation, Tucker is just nodding emphatically in agreement to whatever he rambles.
Something. We found them this way in an alley, and they seemed hurt. And well, they haven't been waking up. They seem to be breathing. So we wanted to take them to the hospital so they could get help.
Tucker would also probably have the sense to flash his Pioneer badge if needed in a situation like that.
I mean, just Jocelyn alone saying that is enough, but also Tucker flashing the badge helps. You make it there, and you're greeted by a Chansey who looks very haggard, that is halfway through wheeling a very strapped-down Crawdon on a Gertie elsewhere. Oh, good. Another patient.
I can't remember. Was Tucker part of the previous Crawdon escapades? And
Yes.
Yes, okay, he was.
Yeah,
Tucker will give a wary eye to the Crawdon, who thankfully seems calmer today. And before expressing to the Chansey,
I don't think this will give you too much trouble. He took drugs, so we may have knocked him out so we could bring him over here.
Another one.
Happini! I am right here.
Little Happini at a desk like a secretary. I couldn't tell if you were on break. So, don't have to yell. I'm currently dealing with a violent patient. Isn't that the 5th one this week? It is the same one for the 5th time this week. Oh, wow. Shouldn't we just, toss them out? The Chansey glares at the Happini. I wasn't being serious. Right. Okay. Do we have a space for this poor drug-addled flame monkey? Aren't they a chimp? You can practically see a vein popping in one of the Chansey's eyes. Just saying. Fine. And after a good bit of staring, they start flipping through a ledger, and every time they flip a page, they say flip, 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 flip. Happini, we'll take care of you. I need to roll this Crawdon somewhere it's not going to hurt anyone. Again! Whose bones did I break this time? Lacerations, not bones. Ow. Next time it's going to be you. Oh, I am so sure. Flip. 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 Ah! Chansey walks off in a huff, pushing the gurney along. The Crawdon is clearly drugged up to the literal gills. Because they are drooling out the side of their mouth, and they aren't really struggling a whole lot.
Sounds like a perpetual requirement for them while they're here.
Hey! One of our patients recently recovered enough to leave. We have a bed open.
That's good.
Tucker kind of expresses, looking around the place.
Has there been a lot of... Oh, that's right.
Wait, is he aware that the hospitals are, some of them closed, right?
Because of the Crawdaunt violence, one of the hospitals needed to shut down temporarily. So Tucker is very aware.
Yes. Tucker feels like a little sweat dropping over that. Not that he was directly responsible for the Crawdaunt being violent, but he expresses,
How long until the other hospital can open back up? If it's so crowded.
It's gonna take a couple days until the repairs are done. And then everything has to be resanitized. That takes forever. I should know. I have had to do it. More than once.
Tucker scratches his nose. Just thinking about all the cleaning products that it would probably mess with his sensitive snoot.
They probably don't use the same cleaning agents that Tucker is thinking of.
But probably not, actually. Is Skitty here? Oh, that's a decent question.
Can we have one of those wheelie tables? My arms are kind of tired. I think I've started to cramp.
What, did you eat before swimming?
That's not a thing for water types.
He squints at the Happini, who just smirks smugly at him. Right. So, does this Chimchar have a name, or am I just going to write them down as Chimchar parentheses Dreki?
Tucker thinks for a moment.
No, I didn't get any names. So I guess that'll have to do.
Chimchar Bracket. Dreki Bracket. Okay. Nurse Skitty! And they ding a bell a couple times. You hear familiar little squidgy footsteps.
Yes, hello, I am here. Oh, it is you again. How may we help you not be the dead today?
Well, I don't think any of us are in mortal danger, kind of, but...
Oh, this one has been sleep powdered. I can tell. They smell.
We had to calm him down so we could bring him here. I don't think they were willing to go willingly to the hospital.
Well, you have done the right thing, haven't they?
Sorry, I'm trying to keep the voice up.
Haven't they, Secretary Happini?
I am not just a secretary, I am also a nurse.
But you have been sitting there all day, every day, since Nurse Skitty has come here to help the people be the better.
It is Happini's turn to squint. Somebody has to keep the ledger straight. Besides, I am not big enough to push the gurneys. Ah!
Oh,
Tucker kind of interjects after a thought.
you guys said you had another one when we brought this fella in. Have there been a lot of Pokemon coming over drugs?
Oh yes, there have been multiple Pokemon who have been found, passed out, or very much hurt from the drugs.
This really does seem like a big problem.
Tucker kind of muses to himself.
It is okay. We have detox care. We have many antidotes.
You realize it is not poison.
but it is the same as antidotes. Just made a little different. Please follow Skitty. I will help you get situated to bed. Yes. And just little squidgy steps as they start walking towards the staircase, and Jocelyn groans, but follows.
You know, Tucker, you're not even that heavy. It's just been forever.
Just a little further. It'd be silly for me to carry him now. Thanks for carrying him so long, though.
Oh, well.
Tucker gives him a genuine happy look.
What kind of crock would I be if I didn't help someone like you? Or someone like this?
As they try to hold up the chimchar, but their arms won't let them. It's almost like they've been locked in place. Offers a
Professional athlete,
half-paid
everyone.
smile. Oh, sorry, what?
He's a professional athlete, everyone.
Well, you can get craps regardless how professional you are.
It's true.
I actually just checked something. Okay, yeah, I didn't think so. If Tucker randomly had a spot ticket, he might consider giving it to Jocelyn. Actually, Tucker will express something then.
Maybe you should try the spa treatment in Savantown. It's really good, actually.
If I could ever get myself out there. You know, it's awfully dry.
That's true. Brooke has a nice damp room set up now, though, so it's not dry everywhere.
Jocelyn looks like he has thoughts rattling around in his skull. You know, like
What a way
wooden
to
balls
describe it.
inside of a hollow coconut.
No. But I hear you've got their races. I'd probably just sleep there. I don't mind the cold.
Wait, sleep where?
In the Oasis.
I don't know if that's allowed.
Jocelyn doesn't care.
I mean, Savantown needs water types. They'll probably accommodate him.
That's true. Tucker thinks for a second.
I think people might drink out of that, but I mean, I don't think anybody would care that much if an arena champion did that.
It's fine. I'll just hire someone to dig me a tiny tide pool or something. I'm sure there's ground types out there. Maybe.
Tucker nods to that.
Well, somebody had to dig us a basement.
You have a basement? Fancy. Actually, now that I think about it, won't lie and be there. Maybe I could stay with Laurie.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Either.
Wait a minute.
That's
You can lie already.
don't tell anyone I said that, Tucker. If Ryder found out, they might be very cross with me.
Tucker kind of just tilts his head, not completely understanding, but does nod.
Okay, I won't. Well, actually, we need to get Lyra a room or something. Maybe in the basement. They seem pretty content sleeping outside right now, though. They like the
Can't put
stars.
Liar in the basement. They're grass type. Also, they deserve better than a basement. Clearly.
I guess you're right. They're pretty important.
You may put the monkey in the bed.
As they lead you all into a room that has like 4 beds, and they're kind of, you know, close together. Unfortunately separated by curtains, and one of them has the curtain pulled back for the bed.
Oh, thank goodness.
As they, to their best of their ability, try to set the chimchar down, and they kind of have to like bend their knees to lower themselves.
Poor Jocelyn. He's so cramped up.
Would you happen to have anything that would help my arms to bend again?
Oh, yes. Please allow me. Tucker, may I have your assistance? As I require your back, very temporarily.
Oh, sure.
Tucker brings it forward and opens it up.
Back, not pack.
Oh, back. Okay, yeah. Tucker will. Tucker is not quite sure what that means, but he will turn it off for the side, his back from the side.
So Skitty will use their tail and nudge Tucker into position. And then they hop, springboard off Tucker's back, land on one of Jawson's outstretched arms, and there is a loud crack. And Jawson just goes, oh! That is one arm. Hop. Crack. Oh! And that is two arm. And they drop to the floor.
Wow, that sounded violent.
Tucker just kind of matter-of-factly says,
I haven't crouched so much since I started being a fighter.
You require more bending exercises. How are you a water type that is so inflexible? I'm a very confused Skitty. Yes.
I'm not inflexible, I'm amphibious.
These are not the same thing. This is okay.
And Skitty produces like one of those little paper cups that you would get in a hospital that, you know, they give you your pills or medicine in.
yes,
Take these with 1 glass of water. Or you can gargle your own water gun, which would be very strange and also maybe gross? I do not know. I am not a water type.
Jawson makes a face. Stares at the Skitty until the Skitty leaves and then comes back with a cup of water. And then Jawson takes whatever it is that's in the little paper cup.
Okay. What was that?
Oh, those were maximum strength painkiller.
Oh,
Oh god.
what were
As they start to take effect, Tucker, you get to witness Jawson being wobbly.
How maximum is maximum strength?
Don't actually take Vicodin and kids.
Oh, we had to give 10 of those pills to the Crawdon so that they would stop being violent. That would be an overdose for most Pokemon, but Crawdon are very large. Also, this one had metal on their claws that may have been inserted, so they have a high pain tolerance.
Huh.
Tucker slowly kind of eases towards Jawson, towards whatever side he probably is tipping towards to try to balance him out.
So you said that was the only bed available, right? The one the Chimchar has?
Tucker kind of asks topically.
This is correct. You will have to take your wobbly friend elsewhere. There are no beds and no floor space. Laying on the floor is most unsanitary. It is unconducive to the healing unless you are straightening your spine. But I do not think that would work because spines for Croconaut have ridges.
Tucker kind of mutters to himself.
I guess I could sneak him into my hotel room for a bed.
You have a very nice day. We will take good care of Chimchar. Parentheses, Druggy.
I hope he can stop having that parentheses later. He needs to stop doing that. And all the other Pokemon doing it too.
It would be nice if we could find the source of the problem and stop it, because it is becoming a very real problem.
When did the problem pop up anyways?
Skitty tilts their head as they think about it.
A little over a month ago? That was the first reported case of drug-addled Pokemon coming to a hospital.
Wow, so it started out of nowhere. Well,
That is how these things go.
So
They
we gotta-
usually start with 1 or 2 patients, and then it starts to multiply like durants.
Interesting facsimile there. Tucker kind of puffs his chest up a bit and says,
well, I'm a Poke Pioneer, so I will see if I can look into it.
But be very careful. In these matters, it can be most dangerous to do the investigating. Yes.
They nod. Jocelyn is leaning more and more on Tucker. He is a heavy croc.
Tucker is slowly stealing his 4 feet against the ground, thankfully having a fair amount of stability thanks to being a quadruped, but he notes that and says... What's that?
I said and Chonk.
And Chonk, of course. Tucker will note this and cut the conversation short.
Thanks for your help, Skitty.
He's kind of mutters as he's getting leaned on more.
I better take this guy to a bed then. See you later.
Have a good day and be very safe. Okay, now to start the detox process. Where did I put my gigantic detoxin needle?
Good thing he's knocked out.
Tucker kind of mutters. And
another nurse comes in as you leave. That's not how you detox!
But if I take out the poisoned blood, then they will be less poisoned.
Oh no, Skinny is resorting to medieval bloodletting.
How did you become a nurse? I know heal balls.
All you need.
Check.
Skinny! So, Tucker will, basically ease Joss, on the side the side of Jocelyn he's on, he will basically kind of nudge, Jocelyn's hand to kind of hold his head for a little extra stability, and he will slowly guide Jocelyn out of the hospital. And indeed, he will head to the hotel. It's probably getting a little late at this point anyways, so Jocelyn needs somewhere to sleep, and he doesn't know where Jocelyn lives, so the hotel will do.
You don't know where any of the champions live now.
That's true.
Now that you think about it, oh my gosh, Jocelyn being woobly has infected my mouth.
Wibbly mouth.
Word salad. But yeah, Tucker, you are able to, with a great amount of effort, drag Jocelyn to the hotel. And it occurs to you that it almost might have been better just to have carried the Chimchar. Because Jocelyn is heavy, and he is barely holding up any of his weight. You get offered multiple times to get some help by, like, random Pokemon that you pass by, who are very concerned for you and your friend.
Tucker would politely turn it down because he doesn't want to inconvenience other Pokemon.
Thanks. I'm fine. I'll manage. It's okay.
And Tucker does manage, just it's hard and it's a little slow. So eventually they get to the hotel, I imagine. But Tucker probably feeling a little sore on the side that all this crocodile weight is constantly leaning on, but he's managing.
You have to stop at least twice.
just like slowly stop next to like a building wall so Joss can lean on that for a second as Tucker catches his breath and just like shakes out a little bit.
Part of my headcanon is that one of the stops is you flopping Jocelyn onto a bench and then realizing that was a horrible idea. And so it takes you way too much time to get him off the bench.
I can imagine that, like, Tucker hopping on the bench next to him, just being like, how do I work this issue out? Trying to get forepaws on his back to, like, push him off, but, like, it's awkward and he can't really do it very well, so he has to like wedge behind Jocelyn and kind of like pop him off the bench that way. And then Jocelyn, then trying to keep Jocelyn from falling on his face in the process, of course. Oh, the shenanigans.
We have had Tucker and Jocelyn Comedy Hour to combat the seriousness of Ralph and Ryda. Right, so... Ralph and Ryda will, of course, arrive at the hotel before Tucker and Jocelyn do.
Yes.
Is there anything specific you two are doing?
Would I be able to do the shopping before we go to the hotel? Like, we stop, buy the thing, and then get to the hotel?
Yes. Yes. Actually, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you for your percentile roll.
It was 2, 4, so 24.
Oof. So, it's gonna cost... 95 poke for the suit that you find, or the pinstripe dress that you find, whichever you are getting, whatever outfit you are obtaining.
Well, there goes my money.
Using your blood money to gear up already.
I'm now interested to ask, who's heavier, Jocelyn or Brooke?
What's Brooke at? Yeah, Jocelyn is heavier than Brooke by like 10 to 15 pounds.
Oh, that's quite a bit heavier, yeah.
Yeah, he's a bigger boy.
He a big boy. Ryda, however, when the retailer, cashier, whomever you are speaking to, the tailor, offers you your change, they do ask if you want to round it up so that it functions as a garment, since that would be a full 100. It wouldn't do a lot, but they could fancy it up just a little bit.
Yeah, I'll do that, because if it's a garment, then I can eventually upgrade it and stuff.
And for new character art.
I just have it as a useful outfit in case you need it for another situation, too. Proper item. You know, at some point, I'm going to go through Ryda's items and give them actual, like, images, because the inventory are blanks.
Unique thing of item.
Because they aren't, like, items I've pulled from anywhere. So what is this specifically that you've gotten, Ryda, so I can give it a proper title and everything?
Tucker needs to do push-ups. Yeah, I guess so.
I'd say just a classy-looking dress. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I can find image later.
You can figure out a description later. We'll just call it classy dress for now. And this is going to give you...
It gives bonuses.
Yeah, garments give bonuses. This one gives you +1 etiquette.
Okay.
Yeah, there's garments that don't do anything, as in they are clothes, and then there are garments that do things like Tucker's triangle scarf, which gives a +1 damage die to fang moves.
Very nice, that one.
And the paw print scarf, which is very powerful.
Tucker will stack scarves at this point, because I mean, you can. I mean, who the heck says you can't tie multiple scarves? Why not? It's like rings.
And then there's Brooke's coat, which is bonkers in its own little way.
Did I ever explain how he's wearing those? I think it was. I think the protection scarf was the one he's wearing on his head in the picture, if I recall. And I think the triangle scarf is probably like around his neck or something, like you do with a dog.
I was gonna say, I thought one was on your head and one is on your neck.
Yeah, that's how I thought. I think I arranged it. Because we all know that when a dog wears a scarf, that's automatically adorable.
So 2 scarves makes them double adorable. Okay. So aside from shopping, is there anything else you all are doing? Anything specific you're doing when you get to the hotel?
Actually, it's worth asking if Ralph is partaking in shopping as well or not.
Is Ralph available?
Is Tubby there?
Muted?
He may
Just
have
a
stepped away.
casual suggestion of his involvement if he wanted it.
Also, Chris the Weavile, shh. I know what the strength scores do. It's part of funny and narrative.
That's like 200 pounds. I mean, yeah, I know. Like, he has decent strength, but like, the more honestly, the most strength that Tucker has is honestly in his mouth. And I know that sounds weird, but like, seriously, hyenas are kind of built for like strong jaws. And actually, that's one of those truth and fiction things because hyenas are crazy with their bite strength. Highest bite strength, like way more bite strength than a normal canine. Not that hyenas are technically canines, but they're canine-like, so like, yeah, way higher bite strength than like a dog. They are built to crack bones and consume the nutrients of them. So,
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Crunch, yeah.
Oh, there's
Hey,
Tubby.
Tubby is
Hey,
there.
Tubby, I was asking for if you wanted to involve yourself in something.
Yo.
So Ryda's going shopping, and I'm like, you're probably still around with Ryda. Are you doing any shopping?
Yeah, I'm following her.
Ryda got a dress. It's a garment.
Mm.
You check the garment slot.
I was listening for that.
Oh, okay.
I like just went and got some chips. Like, all right, they're not talking to me. I'm gonna go get some chips.
That seems to be my luck. Like, it's like, I'm talking about Thing, and then I go to address you, and you have just left for Thing.
Yeah, I have just forget. Oh man, but I can't think of anything I particularly want. But Ralph's one for window shopping, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything Ralph and Ryder are going to be doing at the hotel, perhaps?
Maybe a discussion of what the plan is for tomorrow?
Yeah, we definitely need to actually think of something.
You guys might want to
Yeah,
discuss
definitely.
what to do if it is actually a trap, for instance.
Mm-hmm. I assume we get to a room and then get situated and then start talking. So,
Fair dat.
Whose room are you going to?
I'm gonna say who's buddied with Ralph.
Brooke.
Brooke. In that case, we're going to Ryda's room.
I just gotta avoid Brooke, alright.
You will not involve Brooke in any of this matters.
Okay, that is what the discussion is gonna be about, but before bringing Brooke into anything, we're gonna discuss it.
Right.
Fair enough. Liar is there, by the way.
Yeah. Liar won't snitch. It's fine.
Liar can't snitch.
I actually do like how Jocelyn now has a reason. Tucker inadvertently gave Jocelyn a reason to visit to see Liar. I love that.
Can Ryda and Ralph make a stealth roll, please?
Oh.
What would be a stealth roll?
Oh, so I see what's happening here.
Yeah, Kyrio just asked for them to do a stealth roll, I see.
So that would be Dex Survival Stealth. I know neither of you is trying, but I'm not going to necessarily impose a big penalty here at the moment.
Let's see.
Because y'all are at the same hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And Mike is kind of wondering where everyone is at this point.
Ooh.
Yeah, because Brooke went back before anyone else did, right? So everybody else is getting back later.
This reminds me of my, for some reason, really good stealth rolls in the Solandic cave.
That was a pretty good roll there.
So, what I'm seeing from the rolls, and you all can choose how this actually plays out. What the rolls are telling me is that Ralph is ahead of Rida on the stairs, and bypasses the door before Brooke comes out of the room to search for people, and Rida just happens to be unlucky enough to just be smack dab in the middle of the hallway.
When you said smacked, I was like, I'm lucky enough to be smacked by the door opening. Like,
Wham.
It wasn't that bad of a stealth roll.
that's true. It would have been 0 for that.
I wouldn't say Brooke is going to interrupt them at this point. I think he's just aware that someone is outside.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we shall proceed into the room, and Rida will shut the door behind them.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to discuss.
Plop, 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 plop.
Yes, what?
I'm going to send Car something.
Ooh,
Ooh.
You're gonna what?
I'm being
I'm gonna
sent
ask a-
things.
I'm going to ask a question.
Ooh, okay. That is fine.
Yeah.
Well, concerning the events of tomorrow, we are to assume this is a trap,
I mean,
though it may
it's,
not be. It's better to assume it is.
it's a possibility. And he's like thinking, he's actually looking serious. One thing's for sure. I don't know how much longer we can get by on making it up as we go along.
Yes, there will come a point in which everything unravels. That was always inevitable. More than likely, we will have to confront who we are after, or perhaps this will be some sort of test, and we'll have to do something that you may not be comfortable with.
You
If it is a
specifically.
trap, we're
Yes,
we don't exactly have an advantage.
We will surely be outnumbered, and perhaps surrounded.
Think a moment.
Have you guys
Should
ever
we bring the team?
Let's see here. Ooh.
That was a consideration. I wanted to keep them out of this, if possible. However, events have changed things. Perhaps it would be more beneficial to include them.
Don't mind me.
Dropping like crazy.
He's got the doing the thing where he's got the drinking glass up against the door.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious about saying, I don't know if this is like me asking for you guys to spoil or something, so just shut me up if you want me to, but do Ralph and Rida have an end game plan for what they're doing? Because I'm not really aware of like where this is going to go. Okay.
Yeah. That's.
I assume the goal is to get back the gem, the main thing.
Yeah, get back the gem, and Eternatus marked the Mafia leader, I think.
Right, you guys want to go to the leader, right? You guys want to deal with that?
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as Ralph is aware, we're just getting the thing back and maybe roughing up the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, seeing how you wanted to handle the crowd, Ralph is aware that you might try to handle the big boss the same way. And come to think of it, that is something he had wanted to mention. He puts his hand together. Something you may not have thought of. If you handle, air quotes, he does like air quotes, whoever, if you handle the mon that the Whoopers taken orders from, you probably, like, rotate moves, he's like talking with his hands, you probably create a power vacuum that will get messy quickly. Not sure how much you care about that, but if the intent is to be good, it could be messy.
Ryda pauses and thinks about that for a moment. Well, my intent was never to be good, simply to fulfill my duty. If they wish to fight and struggle over what remains, so be it. If one dares climb to rank such as their predecessor, then they too shall be met with justice.
And Ralph nods a few times.
Do you intend to stop me if I attempt such?
Suppose the one calling the shots has to willingly take that risk. I mean, they're willing to put all their goons in danger. Just try not to kill the goons.
I have no intent of killing anyone, except for my target.
Ralph nods. Fair enough.
You still did not answer my question.
You can do whatever you think is needed.
I see.
If you try to handle anyone else in that way, then I must say I will object.
You have my word, I will not do such.
Right. That still doesn't answer how exactly we're gonna accomplish this. Like, what exactly we're gonna do, because I don't have a clue.
Well, assuming our first interaction will be some sort of test to see if we are willing to participate, we can either go along with such, or protest. Granted, if we protest, it will not end well. So, our best course of action is to go along with whatever they suggest, just until it is no longer convenient.
Until we find an opening.
Indeed. That said, perhaps we should consider including the others in this plan.
You know,
Having them as a safety net, in case things turn.
yeah, in case things go south.
I do not wish for them to be on the forefront, however.
Yeah, for sure. Because Mr. Whooper is not expecting us to bring company. So it's better that they don't know that we have backup.
Indeed.
So weird. It's out of character. It's so weird, like talking seriously as well.
Yeah. When we tell them what we wish to accomplish, we have to have our stories straight. As far as they are aware, we are simply trying to retrieve the meteor fragment and to put a stop to this corporation. That is all they need to know.
Fair enough.
In case, should we proceed to telling Brooke?
Lead the way.
I think I've got the gist of it. Brooke is gonna open the door.
Damn.
I will say that for having wanted your conversation to be entirely private, you did forget to lock the door.
Also, was that a line from Brooke? I think I got the gist of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that was great. How'd you going,
Closed all
bro?
the way.
Alright, good. We don't have to, say though. We don't have to start from the beginning. So yeah, we've been doing espionage against the mafia. So what have you been doing in your space?
So let me get this straight. You found an organized crime ring and have decided to infiltrate it on a whim?
They took our stuff. Yeah, we gotta find it and get it back.
And how exactly did that happen?
I traded it to save a Pokemon in an alleyway.
Alright. And I assume you've made some kind of deal already.
Of sorts, yes.
Have you... How do I want to word this? You haven't associated yourself with us, have you?
Right, I will. So, here's the thing. Ryda has a thing where they can't lie to Brooke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they can't lie to Brooke. They are incapable of lying to Brooke.
Explains why you've been avoiding me. That's out of character.
Yeah.
What is Raya's expression?
The likeness.
What was that?
I was curious what Raya's expression was as they probably came to terms with the fact they can't lie in this situation.
They just sort of pause for a moment, sort of mentally processing before saying anything.
I see.
So there's just a brief instance where Brooke asks the question, Ryda stares off into the distance deadpan, and then turns to Brooke and responds.
I thought there might be something a bit expression based with that. Thank you.
AOL dial-up noises.
Okay, what was the response again?
We did perhaps use the likeness of Team Cheer to entice the deal.
Brooke will slowly put his hand on his face. Then sigh and say, alright. You were discussing whether or not we should get involved? Well, you've already involved us.
That was very leaderly. I liked that line.
So, not only are you pinning your own reputation on this, you are pinning mine, our teams, and the Pioneer Club. Just so you're aware of that.
Alright, no pressure.
I don't know where the sassy Brooke came from, but I kind of like it.
I don't mind if you want to be a vigilante, especially with Eternatus breathing down your neck. I don't even mind if some Pokemon get hurt. But in the future, maybe wear a mask.
I told you we needed 2 cool superhero costumes.
It's far too
I'll
easy.
take that into consideration.
It would be far, far too easy to connect all of us to this incident. And if this gets back to Pangoro, that could make things far worse than they already are for Savantown. Do you understand?
Yes, Joe.
Yeah.
Alright. So, what's the plan?
Tomorrow we plan to meet with them at this location, and shows the card.
So before we continue, did Brooke leave the door open?
No, he closed it behind him.
Okay. Because it's around this time that Tucker and Jocelyn would have returned to the hotel.
So Tucker's sole focus is to get this croc to a bed before his back gives out. So he won't be paying too much attention to a million things. So
I get the intense feeling that Tucker is going to somehow get Jocelyn to flop into the bed that was originally meant for Hatterene, who isn't using it anymore. And then flop
is
into his
Hatterene
own
there?
bed.
Or
No.
where's Hatterene right now? Is they still doing their...
Hatterene's still at the hospital, probably.
Yeah,
Right,
Hatterene
okay.
has been sleeping at the hospital.
Yeah, they've been over there, just double checking. Yeah, Tucker will just, gladly give Hatterene's bed to Jocelyn, figuring that Hatterene probably won't mind.
Just had to make sure that Tucker was there if Tucker ended up perhaps overhearing anything. That doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
Tucker is probably not going to overhear anything, and after finally... So Tucker finally manages to lead Jocelyn temporarily against the wall while he unlocks his door, gets inside with Jocelyn, just lets Jocelyn collapse, just tilt and collapse onto Hatterene's bed, and then Tucker will just immediately go and flop on his own bed because he's now very tired.
Understandable.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Please proceed.
Oh, you're fine. Just explain it.
Liar in the back of the room. Ooh, you guys are in trouble.
Oh yeah, where's Liar? Are they in the room or?
Oh, Liar has been out on the balcony. After they started
okay.
listening in on the conversation, their effective response was, this is something I probably shouldn't be listening to. I'm going to go listen on the balcony so it doesn't seem like I'm listening.
Okay.
Very prudent.
Yeah. Where was I? So, gave Brooke card. Right. We intend to go to this meeting. Depending on what occurs, we may be able to go further into their organization. However, if things go south, it would be helpful to have support.
I'm sure it would be. Brooke will think a moment and ask, do we know what their firepower is like?
I mean, they got a whole bunch of
Okay.
Wobbuffets.
Is that all?
And
They
the clothes are-
had a Rawdine.
Don't tell me you guys are responsible for the Crawdaunt.
Okay, you
I
got
said
it.
stick to
I
the
will not
story.
tell you.
Stick to the story.
Brooke's hand is in his face again. Alright, so you're also responsible for the hospitals being backed up too.
I mean, he tried to mug us. But it was in self-defense.
Okay, you know what? that
I'm
has
not
to be
anything.
I think that's a deception roll.
that's gonna be a smart contest performed at a -2.
Oh, shit.
Well, you know what? Tucker's fast tracking to be Brooke's favorite teammate at this rate. That's good.
I'd also like to mention the using the likeness of Team Shear. That was on Ralph. It wasn't even on Ryder.
True, but you both are complacent in the activities.
Okay. Brooke, give me an insight contest performed.
Brooke's mad, or at least frustrated.
Our hubris.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I mean,
at,
it's a
Lucky
reasonable
bastard.
thing to have happened, at least.
at the very least, it's believable that they were getting mugged by the Crawdon. So self-defense, clearly.
Isn't Brooke aware at this point that he could just check anything or Friday ask if it's true?
It's true. I'm not personally aware of that.
Fair,
in character.
fair. I'm just. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Brooke will just sigh and say, "Okay, you mentioned a Clawitzer. Do we know what that's capable of?"
Very, very powerful ranged attack.
Fair enough. Do you know if that's the extent of this organization, or are you still gathering that information?
As far as we are aware, it's the Wobbuffet, the Whooper, who appears to be second in command, and the Clawitzer, who's their sniper support. We still have not met the head of the organization, but the plan is to finally figure out who they are.
I'm going to say right now that should be your only goal. Getting too far into this risks too many people's lives. If you want to get... If you want to go after the head guy, you're going to have to do it anonymously. Understood?
Right.
Ryder sighs. Very well.
Okay. Then the plan is to do whatever they tell you to and protect our reputation. If that means you have to bail early, then you'll have to find some other way of getting information.
Right.
Tucker and I will support you as much as we can.
And, hey, sorry for, making a mess.
Honestly, I wish you just told me about this from the beginning. It might have even have been fun.
Oh, I understand. Brooke isn't mad they're in the mess. Brooke is mad that they weren't part of the mess.
and able to help kind of guide where it's going. Yeah, and no, this is also a trust factor. Like he's upset about the lack of trust.
There's that. Part of Brooke is upset that he wasn't told as a leader, and part of Brooke is upset that he wasn't been told as an adventurer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So that last line was kind of whiny.
Aw.
Oh man, this is really good moment though. Like, oh man, and it shows how, like, I guess it was kind of known before, but it's kind of reinforcing that, like, when elements of the team act autonomously, they're much weaker than we are as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows how important Brooke's guidance and leadership is too. Because
Yeah, because you guys effectively ignored leadership for a bit, so it's like not the best thing to do.
And we made kind of a mess doing it.
Brooke
It's
has
just
always
a spotlight, though.
Yeah. Brooke has always had the philosophy of if something happens to one person of Team Cheer, it happens to all of Team Cheer. And it should be handled accordingly. Which is why he's always been an advocate of supporting even Riley whenever his stuff was going on.
That makes sense.
So yeah, he would have really liked to have been told.
Alright. Oh shoot. I'll walk up to him.
So Brooke also managed to land Ryda's second rule. Ryda can't defy Brooke.
I'm gonna hold out a hand and I'm gonna hold out a hand for a handshake. I'm gonna say, alright. No more secret projects in our name, I promise. I'll shake on it.
Before Brooke shakes, he's like, he'll squint his eyes a little and say, I'd at least like a little hint, even if it's not in our name. But he'll shake the hand anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not gonna like go off on dangerous stuff without saying, "Hey, Brooke, I'm gonna do a dangerous thing." That way, you have a chance to tell me, "No, you're not gonna do that dangerous thing."
Works for me. Brooke will shake his hand. Alright, I'll leave you to it. And he leaves.
I think that went rather well.
And then he pokes his head in the door again. Close the door next time. And then he'll shut it.
Liar actually moving to try and walk out the door. It gets shut. Go in, like, wow. You're lying. And they struggle with the door for a bit until they just catch their antler on the latch and tilt their head until they can open it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
And you know what's frustrating is out of character where I have knowledge of both halves of the team escapades. I think I've pieced together what's going on here, but I don't know any way for any, unless maybe both half of the teams reconvene to Brooke, and he could probably piece it together. But I'm pretty sure the money that this Wobba Fett gang is procuring is the same rare candy addictive stuff that like buffs up the gladiators. Or the fake gladiators.
Well, thanks
Yeah.
for reminding me. I need to go find a document.
Actually,
Yeah.
I kind of remember Ralph and Ryda. Do you guys know that the mafia group you're infiltrating is also responsible for the drugs? I forget if that came up or not.
We don't know that. I
Actually,
mean, as a
no.
player,
Yeah, there's
I
no
know
connection
that,
to it
but
yet.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
Ralph
I'm
and
sure-
Ryda don't know.
I'm sure we'll have a chance to brief each other on what's been going on since Brooke has made this an official thing for Team Cheer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm fairly certain that this mafia is also behind the candy steroids that some of the wannabe gladiators are using.
Well,
Yeah,
in
that's-
character-wise, I think that this positing can be done once Tucker says what he knows, because he will offhandedly be mentioning something that will correlate a few things. So the thing is, though, Tucker is at this moment still not actually involved with everything, unless Brooke is choosing to march over and talk to Tucker about things. Because Tucker is just like, Tucker isn't asleep, mind you. He's just like, I flopped on the bed. I am pooped. That was enough hauling crocodiles for today. Like, he's tired, taking a break. Probably will get some dinner at some point, but yeah.
Brooke will probably talk to Tucker if he sees him, but we don't have to do that right now.
True.
Well,
However the scenes
funny you
progress.
mention that, because Liar will hear Jocelyn from on the balcony.
Oh, I see.
That's the whole reason they were leaving. Not
Oh.
the conversation. Liar understands they are not necessarily involved in this conversation, and also, Brooke probably wouldn't let them be involved. So, they decided to leave and go see what the heck is going on. Why is Jocelyn here, and why is Jocelyn not visiting?
That's fair.
So, they go down, and with one hoof, they knock on Tucker's door. Before you respond, however, hey, Ryda.
Yes.
You know that bonus insight you got from the candy?
I was wondering when that would disappear.
That's gonna be gone. Because as you are winding down for the day, you start to feel really exhausted.
Movie. Off the high, guys.
Actually, half wondered if this would result in some sort of saving throw.
There is no saving throw against this.
Okay.
The saving throw is not consuming the candy. Which, by the way, Ryda, go ahead and check that wrapper.
Oh.
Oh,
No.
that's pretty bad.
Don't do drugs,
Oy.
children.
I didn't
Everybody-
know it was drugs at the time.
For anybody who has trouble reading small text on tabletop, that says -1 rolls for 24 hours.
It is -1 to all rolls
All
for
rolls.
the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
Arceus. Never doing that again.
Face.
You say as addiction may well set in.
Oh, wait, I should ask. Does that mean -1 dice to roll, or does that mean -1 successes?
-1 dice.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's
A
a,
little better.
Yeah, it's not -1 successes. It's not that evil.
Okay.
I can live with a -1 dice. That sucks, but
Yeah, Brooke is going to see Liar knocking on Tucker's door. Will Tucker even be able to get up and respond?
Like I said, Tucker's not necessarily asleep, though. What is Jocelyn at this point? Is Jocelyn just like passed out at this point, or is he just laying there?
At some point, you heard a very loud thud, so you're pretty sure he is on the floor.
Tucker will groan when he hears the thud and kind of look over.
It's carpeted.
He'll just kind of express it and flop back down. Expressing about how the floor is carpeted. It's fine. Oh wait, is the floor carpeted?
The upper floors, yeah.
Okay.
Like the like suites and rooms on the upper floors do have carpeting, but on the lower floors, no, they wouldn't, because if any flooding happened, that would be disastrous.
I was gonna say, I don't think it was last time, but they did remodel, so
They did
we're an upper floor, right?
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, Tucker will just accept that he's laying on carpet. It's fine.
I'm just
But,
gonna pretend that at least your room is carpeted for the sake of effort.
Tucker will also kind of shuffle and groan when there's a knock.
All right, hold on.
And he will get up. He has had at least a little bit of time to like get the ache out of his shoulder, so he'll flop off the bed and go answer the door.
Blood. You don't have. You have no idea what Jocelyn could possibly be saying, by the way.
Tucker pauses for a moment and just looks over towards Jocelyn and expresses,
Okay.
and then opens the door.
Oh, hi, Lyre. What are you doing here?
Is Brooke also there?
Brooke will kind of glance into the door because he was wondering if Tucker was coming home.
Oh, okay.
You will see Jocelyn on the floor, just sort of like languidly making carpet angels or something, babbling.
What the heck happened to him?
In Lymna. Jocelyn?
Tucker gets out of the way of the door to let them enter, because Lyre's probably going to try to walk right over to Jocelyn, I imagine, so...
Very much so. They are super confused.
Tucker kind of takes a deep breath, and then slowly explains his day, starting with... Okay, I'm just going to ramble it.
So I ran into a chimchar, and he's basically kind of extorted money out of me to get drugs, and then I caught him doing that, and then I tricked him to go to the arena because I was going to find you, Brooke, but you weren't there. So I talked to Jocelyn to help me try to get this guy to the hospital, and he did. And we got him to the hospital after knocking him out with sleep powder, and then Jocelyn was kind of sore for carrying the chimchar, so he got painkillers, and now he's like this. I don't know where he
Jocelyn
lives, so
tries
I
to
just
wait.
brought him back here.
Brooke is kind of pinching his eyebrows. It's like, I wish I had a painkiller right now. Alright, well, I think you did the right thing. Good job, Tucker.
Tucker kind of does a weak little tail waggle.
He was heavy.
He just kind of expresses.
Oh no! Lyre tries to use aromatherapy and it does not help.
Painkiller
That's
strong.
double ones! Oh my god.
Oh, that's
If
the
anything, it makes it worse.
I will note that in Tucker's ramble, though I didn't say it directly with Tucker's voice, I kind of shortened it, but Tucker will mention in that ramble that he watched the chimchar get drugs from some Wobuffet. That may or may not be relevant based on what Brooke heard from the others, but...
Right, yeah, no. Even just saying drugs makes Brooke think it might be connected.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke will sigh again and say, well, I guess he can stay the night.
Yeah, I thought it would be best. I don't think he should be on his own right now.
Lyre just nods. They aren't even sure what the heck to do, because now Jocelyn just has his jaws open. He's flat on his back as much as he can be, tongue hanging out. He's kind of drooling on the floor. It sounds like he's gurgling. And he's saying something that could possibly construed as, hey, I'm a water fountain, if you put it through an idiot filter 3 times over. Use the ipecac.
I guess Tucker would also pipe up if there's a pause, and he would say,
Yeah, apparently there's a drug problem going around, I heard, for like the last month, according to Nurse Skitty at least.
A month, you say?
I'm about there anyways.
Brooks says we. Let me think.
Oh, take your time. Take your time.
I've been doing a lot of voicing right now.
You have. You've done more than I think you've ever done before. And by the way, you did a great job.
Oh, thanks.
The fast.
Wonderful.
It's easy to sound disappointed. Brooke will be like, yeah, I think we might have a lead on that, actually.
It makes Tucker's ears perk a little bit.
Go ahead and talk to Ryda about that. I'll look after Jocelyn.
Okay. I mean, I guess you would know best how to take care of a crocodile, right?
Yeah, also let Ryda know that Lyre will probably be in here with him.
Tucker nods.
All right. I'll go talk to Ryda then.
And Tucker will head out and leave them to handling the situation how they like.
So as Tucker leaves, Brooke, currently Lyre is just settled down next to Jocelyn, and they are trying to gingerly use their forehooves to try and close Jocelyn's mouth. just with an expression of concern, like, please stop doing this. This doesn't seem healthy.
So I have a chesto berry and a pecha berry. Would either of those help in this situation?
If you could get him to ingest them, probably. The pecha berry probably more than the chesto berry.
Yeah, I feel like because medicine's poison, so I mean he got a little. I think he got slightly overdosed on that. I think the maximum strength was a little much for him.
There's probably a bit more than he needed, yeah. So Brooks is gonna put the pecha berry in his wide open mouth and basically hug it closed until he swallows it.
Like a dog. Trying to get medicine.
And Lyre just using a limb to try and massage his throat desperately. Swiping like, oh no. Eventually, Jocelyn does swallow. His eyes roll up, and he relaxes. Lyre stares for a good long minute with wide eyes, an expression of, oh my god, did we just kill my potential boyfriend?
Brooke will let go.
Jaw hangs open.
Sighs. Well, it's not boring, is it? Brooke will say.
Lyre shakes their head in agreement.
Brooke grins. And that can be the end of that scene.
Poor Jocelyn. Poor everyone involved. Right. I take it that... I take it that... Oh, I'm sorry. I keep talking over you.
I'm just saying that I had that pecha berry forever. I think it's like the first thing I bought.
Probably should use it before it rots.
Yeah. Oh, is that a stored pecha berry?
I think it's just in there. I don't know what that means.
Oh, alright. I'll just delete them. If we're supposed to still have a pecha berry in the future, people will remind us. I'm sure.
Well, Tucker could have given him a pecha berry too, but he didn't think about that. I forgot Tucker had one, but I don't think Tucker would have maybe thought about that.
Yeah, Tucker still smart. Has a pecha berry.
Brooks used to using items to heal Pokemon, so
fair.
I'm surprised you didn't try to use the strange goo.
I don't have any on me.
No, Tucker does, though.
Tucker does, yeah.
I think Tucker was just too trusting. Like, well, Nurse Kitty must have given him the right dose. Like, she's a nurse. They're a nurse after all.
Oh yeah, the Dreamcatcher is on my coat now, by the way. So I don't need
Yes.
this anymore.
What's that about the Dreamcatcher?
Oh, Brooke has attached the Snowrun Hamlet Dreamcatcher to their coat.
Oh,
So it no longer takes up a garment slot.
My razor fang. No, that's Alex.
okay. Maybe we edit the description for that.
I will do so at another point when I determine what exactly it does.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Was it ever utilize the Dreamcatcher in any way?
I've
Or was
worn
it
it
just-
since I've gotten it, but it's never done anything.
Okay.
You all haven't exactly had a lot of chances for nightmare shenanigans to happen.
True.
Or
I
at least
wondered
Brooke
if it
hasn't.
would have. Yeah, I wondered if it would have like affect the staticky dream thing, but I don't think it's ever come up.
Unfortunately, there also have not been a lot of chances for staticky dream thing to come up. But it's still on your person, so who knows?
Hmm,
Yeah.
Curious.
Right then. Tucker is heading up to speak with Bryda and Ralph.
Before Tucker arrives, I'd like to have a little scene sort of play out before.
Sure.
So after Brooke leaves and they are left alone, Ralph turns to Rita and they just look vacant, like no one is there. Mentally just gone.
Do you mean Bryda to Ralph?
No, because Ralph turned to Rita when Brooke left and
Oh.
had said something.
Oh, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Ralph turned to Rita. Rita has the vacant expression. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's where Ralph was like, well, I think that went well.
Meanwhile, Rita, vacant expression. And their horn starts to do the little sizzle thing again.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Hey, Rita.
Hmm.
I know this is your scene, but this might also be a time for traumatic flashback memory of disappointment.
Yep. Figured that was coming.
Could you define sizzle thing? Fair is also confused. I don't actually know what that means.
Okay, so in one of the glimpses I wrote, essentially, it happened during the Mewtwo thing where Rita was sort of silent, and that I described how Rita's horn, the cracked one, started to like let off sizzle sounds and crackling when they were sort of under a lot of mental strain.
Ah, okay.
So for the memory, by the way, this will be at your discretion, but hey, was there ever a point in time when Rita disappointed their mistress?
Let me think. Ooh, yes, I have a good one. This was actually going to be an idea for a glimpse itself, but I think this fits better. So the idea was that Rita and the Rita as a Ralts and the Machop broke into an armory, and inside, as they were looking around and scrounging around the weapons, they are found out by their mistress, to which she is very disappointed in them for scrounging around the armory where various weapons and tools are kept. And she scolds both of them, of course, but afterwards met with sort of kind words, and in turn, they are both granted to keep one item within the armory. That is where Rita gets their orb, and the Machoke gets their hammer. I believe they said it was a hammer.
I do
But
believe it was.
in those moments when Ryder is being scolded, they're just utterly appalled and disgusted with themselves, feeling very shameful and nearly crying, but just holding it together.
I feel like Ralph would be a bit surprised that Ryder is showing emotions so strongly. Like, I mean, I think he's just gonna politely wait for her to pull himself back together then.
It takes a couple moments until Ryder eventually sort of blinks back to focus. And as you see, like, a single tear stream down their face, and they sort of refocus on you and wipe it away. Apologies. I was distracted in thought.
I see. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone you actually feel stuff.
I have no idea what you are referring to. At this point, Tucker walks to the door.
Okay. Tucker will give the door a knock. Pop, pop, pop.
And Ryder will quickly address who it is.
Hey, it's Tucker. Brooke said I should talk to you guys.
Yeah,
Ah, yes.
come in.
He comes in. Tucker will give the same recap he gave Brooke, more or less, about his day, and express at the end of it that Brooke said that they may have a lead on it and to talk to Ryder.
So I guess that's what our boys have been peddling.
And yes, Tucker will bring up that the Chimchar got drugs from a Wobuffet. To you guys too, so.
Yeah.
Ryder will also pull out the wrapper and show Tucker. Did it look like this?
Oh, I didn't really get a good look at the wrapper, but I think it was similar. It was like a piece of candy like this.
He kind of gives the wrapper a sniff, actually, to see if he can notice anything about it with his snoot.
It smells sweet, but there is an underlying scent to it. Kind of burny. It makes you sneeze.
Tucker will indeed sneeze and then express.
It smells like a candy, but it smells like something else too, something bad. Burning. Where'd you get this wrapper?
Someone I ran into upon our investigation gave it to me.
Huh.
Yeah, we've been chasing these guys.
Oh, you guys know who's behind it?
Yeah, more or less. We talked to the second in command of the whole gang, the whole
Whoa.
super gang. Yes, they're very cool.
This must be somebody really tough if they're doing bad things like making drugs.
Tucker
I
kind of
can
imagines.
Seem all that intimidating.
I can say that all the Wobbuffets are afraid of him. But yeah, it's really something. I'll mention that. So we just were trying to get get our gem fragment back. But then, the rabbit hole kept getting deeper and deeper.
Tucker actually tilts his head.
Get the gem fragment back? What do you mean by that?
Tucker was never aware that this was lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is a big lore dump. Yeah, big info dump.
Do you just fill Tucker in on
Yeah.
everything? It's actually an
Yeah,
important
this-
question. Do you guys
I'm
leave anything
being
out?
specific with wording.
Do you?
That's
Yeah,
why
okay.
I'm not gonna handle
Being
it.
somewhat specific with the wording, I think we alright, exposition dump, like at the end of the episode where the character has to say what happened. Like, alright, it all started when fade to black, fade back, and that's the whole story.
Okay, here are the. You know what? Let's just do this. This is a simple way. There are certain landmines, and I need to know if you triggered them. How's that? Can I just? Let's just go work backwards. All right.
Yeah, I
First-
know.
okay.
That's why I wanted to do specific wording.
All right. Do you want to know what the landmines are, or do you already know?
I think
I feel like
I have
one of
an
them
inclination
is-
on a few, but I'd rather keep it
Yeah.
anonymous.
Okay,
You know,
that's fair.
I don't want to know ahead of time. We'll see
Okay.
if I can word my way out of this.
Okay.
So, Ryda will turn to Tucker. I must apologize. You see, I had lost it to them in exchange for preventing a Pokemon from being attacked. It appears he owed some sort of debt, and in return for his safety, I gave over the meteor fragment.
Oh, well, that sucks a little bit, but if you help the Pokemon not get hurt, that's fine.
I also avoided telling you, as I did not wish to undermine your efforts, as I know that meteor fragment must have meant something important to you, and so I wished to procure it before you had to get involved. Unfortunately, it did not pan out as such.
Oh, I'm not that attached to it. It was pretty cool, but it wasn't that hard when we got the two halves. I gave it to you because I thought you would have more use out of it than me. If you ended up trading it off, I guess that's your decision. If you want to get back, though, I'm down for that, especially if it's just a bunch of bad guys that have it. I don't think they should have it, probably.
Tucker kind of expresses.
Indeed. Which is why we intend to retrieve it. Thanks to our investigation, we have managed to set up a meeting. And depending on how it goes, we may be able to retrieve it. Though if not, we may need your assistance along with Brooks in escaping.
That's fair. We are a team, after all. So you guys met the second command. I wonder who the first in command is, then.
My immediate thought would be... Oh, the name escapes me. What's the evolution of Looper?
Depends.
Clodsire?
Is it quite?
If you want to talk about
Quagsire or
the...
Clodsire.
Yeah.
Because he's a Paldean Looper.
Yeah, then Clodsire, Paldean.
Mm-hmm.
Would you necessarily even know what a Clodsire is?
Probably not, so I'd say Quagsire.
Okay.
Because the only thing odd about the Wooper is the coloration and their demeanor, but most Wooper inherently may give off the vibe of creepy smiley.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker will pause at something.
Well, they are behind the drugs. They've only been doing it for like a month, so it must be like a new business they're doing. Or maybe they're not even that old of an organization. I mean, I don't know what they did besides drugs. It sounds like they do other things too. It's probably not very good, so we should try to stop it if we can. Sounds like it's hard to get in their ranks and figure them out, though, so I hope the meeting goes okay tomorrow.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and ask about something. Did you bring up that you brought... Did you bring up... So you pretending to join, right? That's what you've told Tucker, right?
We did not specifically say that. We said we
Okay.
had a meeting with them.
Okay, a meeting. All right.
Mhm.
In that case, Tucker will ask.
I'm a little curious, though. How did you guys get a meeting, though?
We tracked down the second in command and had a dinner with them.
Oh, so you guys were, like, being sneaky and not revealing your identities and stuff.
Yeah.
I just laughed out loud.
Tucker is like trying to say, "Oh, you were doing like espionage, like spy stuff."
We were very subtle.
Tucker nods and accepts that because he kind of has an idea in his head how you guys did this already. Very subtle to the point of formlessness. Let's see. Trying to think if Tucker would have something to say after that. Is there any other questions Tucker would have? No, probably not, actually. That kind of settles most of the thoughts. He will express, though.
Well, I guess we should be careful, though. Like we've learned in the past, some stuff is bigger than what we can deal with. So we may have to get the rest of the Poke Pioneers involved, maybe. But we could try our best to stop it ourselves.
He kind of wags his tail.
Unfortunately, Brooke instructed us simply for reconnaissance. We are not to get too ahead of ourselves, as it were.
Tucker nods, definitely seeming like that, seeming to agree to that idea.
Yeah, we don't even know how big of an organization they have or whatever, or what kind of mean Pokemon they have.
Have you guys told Tucker about the mean Pokemon they have?
Nope.
I'm
They
gonna
hasn't
say
asked yet.
no.
Okay.
As far as we are aware, their ranks include Wobbuffet, the Wooper, and a Clawitzer, along with the head boss that we still have not met yet.
Let's see. Oh, okay. The Clawitzer is... I always mix it up by crustaceans. Hold on.
Sniper.
That's the sniper. Okay. Tucker will think for a second. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do a self roll. I want to see something. Evens, he knows. Okay. Tucker gives it a thought for a second and then expresses...
I don't know what that kind of Pokemon is, but he sounds scary.
It is a ranged attacker they have. They can do serious damage, and it's hard to attack them one-on-one due to their capabilities.
Oh, jeez. I'm not really good at long-range attacking anyways. I mean, middle range, maybe. But if they could attack from long range, that's scary. I'll watch out for that.
I guess Tucker will, at this point. Tucker looks satisfied with the information he has received. You guys did well enough not to trip on any landmines, honestly.
Oh yeah, I knew what a couple of them were. That's why I was very specific with wording.
Very specifically, don't mention, oh, by the way, he almost killed the frickin',
Yep, that's a no-no. We don't talk about that.
Or like bringing up the muscle and what Pokemon that would be. That would have been
Muscles
a
out of the way,
landmine
doesn't matter. We're having a meeting. That's all you need to know.
too. Well, Tucker will
That's how
not.
you do it, Ralph.
Are you guys good? Have you wrapped up what you want to tell Tucker at this point?
If Tucker is done with questioning, then yeah.
Okay, then Tucker will, as they wrap it up, Tucker will nod and say,
All right. Well, I'm just going to follow Brooke's lead, and we'll be your backup if you need it.
Very well. Your assistance is appreciated.
Tucker wags his tail.
Of course. Let's hope this goes okay.
Likewise.
Tucker will, if that is everything, will politely take his leave and head back Probably to go flop on his bed again and also see how everybody's holding up in his room.
Ralph, could you join me on the balcony?
Alright.
And as they go out onto the balcony, Ryda is going to look out around towards the city and sort of mutter to Ralph, "Do you see him out there?" Ryda's looking to see if the sniper is watching them.
Alright, I'll take a look.
Both of
As
you.
it occurred to me as we were speaking that, hey, he might be spying on us right now to make sure there's nothing shady.
Both of you may make insight survival alert checks. Reminder to Ryda, you have one less
Yep.
die. Whatever you are looking for at this distance, neither of you are seeing it.
Oh, didn't hurt to check.
Yeah, if they were watching, they'd be aware you're talking to a bunch of Pokemon. That wouldn't necessarily give away your cover, but depends, honestly.
Mhm.
I doubt they can hear from a distance.
I know
Unless-
they wouldn't. Come to think of it, the Litwick knew a lot of information.
Actually, here's one thing you always got to ask too: can they read lips?
That's fair.
Oh, dude,
Some
learning how to
people
read
can.
lips in Pokemon World would be very difficult.
It would be because there's like so many types of lips. Can you imagine what is that? What's that one Pokemon that is like a sucker leech? Like imagine reading that thing's lips.
Oh, you mean the electric?
Yeah, Electros, I think, right?
Oh, Electros, yes.
Electros. I always forget the name of that one. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't think lip reading would be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Former part of Pioneer team, former champion team. Talking to us wouldn't be too weird. It could have just been getting an earful for being late.
True.
Who talking to you?
I think I was talking about how, Brooke coming to talk to Ralph and Ryda.
Okay. Sorry.
That wouldn't be too conspicuous.
My brain is having issues making its normal leaps in logic today. I don't
Yeah.
know
Plus, you guys said you were part of you guys admitted to being part of the Pioneer team with the Wooper. So, like, he knows he probably would be talking to other Pioneers. So, yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
at the moment, you are not aware if you are being watched or not.
Also, I will say, since it was noted, because apparently as Tucker left the room, Tucker will see Brooke coming upstairs from the front desk. So, Tucker will probably... where is Brooke going at this point?
He's heading back to his room.
Okay, his own room? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tucker will not pay it too much mind. Tucker will assume he was buying Jocelyn a room or something, or because Tucker did feel a little bit like bad about like just randomly inviting a visitor to the rooms, but like Jocelyn needed a place. It was he was willing to like let it slide. Like it's a little gray to do that, but.
Before he goes in his room, Brooke will mention that he did feed Jocelyn a berry that seems to have helped.
Oh, that's good. Tucker will express.
Oh, that's good.
Actually, Tucker will go ahead and ask Brooke.
Did you just buy Jocelyn a minutes in the hotel for a night or something?
Oh no, he should be able to stay here since we've ordered the room for Hatterene and she's not using it.
Yeah, that was my logic, at least. I thought it would be okay.
So
Brooke will say, okay, good night. And then
Good
head
night.
to bed.
Oh, there we go then.
Heading ahead, in that room that, unless Ralph returns to it, they have all by themselves. So, questions, since I had to step away, and I'm going to have to step away again very briefly. Did Tucker remember to tell Ryda that Liar is taking care of Jocelyn?
No. That was not like Tucker was more like, oh, what you guys did? Oh, you guys did us, but like, he wouldn't think of mentioning that. He was like kind of entranced by the stories he was being told. Also, I'd like to note they didn't trip any of minds of Tucker. Specifically, Tucker was not told about the Crawdrat. He was, which would have associated something for him. He was not told that the pioneers were brought up in the whole mafia story stuff, which would have upset Tucker a lot, actually. So those landmines were not triggered. They artfully dodged around them, and I did not tell them what the landmines were in the first place. They just did. They knew. They knew. Correct guesses
I
were
am a
made.
wordsmith.
But yeah, Tucker will head back to his room, and presumably, I assume Jocelyn and Liar are still there.
They are. Liar has fallen asleep. They've got their forelimbs crossed over Jocelyn's chest, and they're kind of just sort of laying their head forward over them at the moment. Jocelyn is snoring loudly. It shouldn't be surprised because, yeah, not enough motor function control.
Tucker notes their little arrangement. Indeed, thinking it is a little cute, even if it's really loud. And he will go to his bed and just simply put a pillow over his head and have a good snooze.
I mean, you could also join Brooke. His room's fairly empty.
That's fair. He wouldn't think of intruding, though, so he'll just sleep with a pillow over his head.
Hey, but he's already on his bed.
Also, it's his bed.
It's mine.
He's done. Look, Tucker has done several circles around his bed, so it's his bed now. He can sleep very comfortably on it.
Of course.
Was there anything else Ralph wanted to do before leaving the room?
I don't believe so. I can't think of any. I do have what you call it, right? No, I can't think of anything. I mean, there are stuff psychic stuff I want to learn, but I don't want to start that in the middle of this operation.
Right, because you're in kind of a serious mode right now, too.
Also, it's late.
Yes, it's late.
Mm-hmm.
You guys had a lot. You guys did a lot today, technically.
Yeah. Well, the party's back all on the same page, so that's good.
That's a relief.
At
We'll be able to get more done. Yeah.
Except for Tucker still having a little bit of the page like folded over, but more or less on the same page.
For his benefit.
I suppose so.
No need to
more
worry
for
about
Ryder's benefit, I think.
What's that?
That too.
More for Ryder's benefit, I think.
So, is Ralph going back to his and Brooke's room?
Yeah, Ralph will go back to his designated room.
Ryda, how likely are you to notice that Liar has not returned before
Very.
you go to sleep?
Oh yes, Ryda. As soon as Ryda was left alone for about an hour and there was no sign of Liar, immediately scrying. Where is he?
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, that's not hard. Go ahead and make your roll.
Yeah.
while you do that, I need to go turn over dinner. So 2 seconds for me.
Okay.
Just, where is he? Hey. Well, next session we'll start off in the morning, do the thing, and then probably finally leave the spray.
Oh, we gotta
Maybe.
assess that Shaman, the reason we came here, is like better. I mean, we know they're getting better and they're being worked on.
I mean, this is our last day here regardless, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on what happens, it may be...
We may have to
Here
leave
for me too.
Hatterene.
Sorry.
I said we may have to leave them in Hatterene's care.
Yeah. The implication is supposed to be that it will take time for Hatterene to do their work,
Yeah.
and that Riley and Lizard are going to stay behind. Mostly because Riley does feel at least partially responsible and would like to oversee it.
Fair.
Oh no, that means Team Cheer's secondary leader is not at the base.
Okay.
Hot Dog's got this. It's fine.
We have... yeah. Hot Dog can be de facto leader, I guess.
I was gonna say, it's fine, Squirtle's got this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wait, what the heck is Fair? Fair is mishearing things. They heard you say that Riley and Lizard are going to sleep in pines.
No.
What the heck
No,
did you hear?
Riley and Lizard are going to be staying in Sea Spray to watch over the process.
Stay behind got translated as sleep in pines. Oh yes, pine trees are the most comfortable.
There are no pine trees in space. I'm sorry, saying there are no pine trees in Sea Spray has the same energy as there is no war in Bossing Say.
Yes, exactly. It does. Why does it have that same energy? Oh goodness.
There are no pines in Sea Spray. Obama Snow looks offended. Shenanigans aside, Ryda, you scry and have no issues seeing Liar in the other room doing the cute laying on Jocelyn thing while Jocelyn is snoring. This has not been approved.
Ryder will squint. But due to their exhaustion and trusting of Brooke saying it was fine, we'll just put their orb down and go to sleep.
I expect Jocelyn will receive an earful in the morning.
It's not even his fault. He wasn't fucking functional.
It's not his fault that Skitty gave him an overdose. Skitty overestimated how much body mass a crocodile has. That would have been appropriate amount of painkiller for a Tyranitar. That said, this feels like a very good place to leave off, even though it's a little bit early compared to our usual stopping time.
You know, I was thinking, like, man, we're doing a lot with this session in actually a pretty small amount of time. I noticed we got a lot done, honestly. It felt like a lot of conversation and plot and events happened in a rather compact amount of time.
Rather earlier.
Yeah, it is early. Usually we go for like another half hour. But yeah, this seems like a good place to stop, and we got a lot done. Sometimes we just get a lot done, which is great. But also ending earlier would make it at least slightly easier on Kyrio, who's done so much talking, and I appreciate it so much.
Thank
You have
you.
a lovely voice.
Yeah,
I need
agreed.
to get a glass of water.
Also, I do apologize that I turned down a possible Brooke Tucker scene, because what you suggested was adorable, but I just want Tucker to kind of just tolerate the scene.
That's
But
fine, yeah.
I did like the idea though, because I was thinking like Tucker going over to Brooks, doing a meek knock, and being like, "Brooke, I can't sleep. Can I sleep in your room?"
Yeah.
Aw.
Give it a couple hours.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible that Tucker. Well, actually, I guess. You know what? Make me do a roll for sleeping.
Make
You
you
know
do a
what?
roll.
Sure. Do a vitality roll.
Okay. Because
Just
Tucker
to cap
does have
off.
good ears, pillow or not, so that's a pretty good roll. He might manage.
Okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's a big boy now.
Oh no, Tucker's all grown up.
Aww.
The adorable must end. Sad.
He's a big boy for tonight, at least.
It's fine. Eventually, the story is going to lessen as the painkiller wears off.
Aw.
Eventually. Besides, you are tired. You had a very big day for a small pooch. So, I'm just gonna say, blanket. Everybody get 5 XP this time.
Ooh.
That's a bit more than
Spicy.
normal.
It is. Y'all did excellently.
Very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Amazing all the way around.
I knew the moment that I got broken at the start of the session would be good.
Broken?
My
Wait,
advice.
what broke
no,
you?
The
Oh,
Litwick.
Oh,
Oh, do you want my advice? No.
it's always a good session if somebody breaks in the manner that they just can't stop laughing.
so as far as Tucker's adaptive stats go, I'm gonna give him a point in athletic because of, well, carried around a crocodile today.
Good reason.
Fair.
Let's see. That is, what is the cost of those again?
That is a specialty, is it not?
Specialty 6 times current score. Okay. I always forget the names of them. So
Apparently, I had some evasion buff. I'm pretty sure whatever that was worn off.
I believe I'm
I might have
going
used
to.
double team.
Yeah.
12.
I am adding a
54.
special point, which also increases my cute.
Yay, you're cuter.
So now I have 4 in every stat, and I've maxed out 3 of them.
Wait, which stat?
Right.
You increased the main stat? Which one?
A special.
Special. Does that increase anything on the
Yeah.
side panel?
Yeah,
It
it's
increased cute.
Does it like increase special defense?
cute. Oh,
or anything?
special? Probably.
Special defense is insight.
Oh, okay, my bad. So special doesn't affect any side stats. Okay, but it does level you up if you want to count that.
Yeah, I haven't been doing that in a while, so I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair. I forget the calculation. I 4th point special. I think that's 4 levels. Then I don't remember. Doesn't matter. though.
Yeah, I got a couple points in stealth because I've been.
Sneaking.
Yeah, we've been.
Sneaky, sneaky, sneak.
What are the typical attributes for deception?
Deception is usually
You've been having me do smart contest perform.
perform is usually what it is. Depending on the type of deception, like if you're trying to charm, seduce, or schmooze, it would probably be better as lore. Also, if you want to try and pitch a different specialty than the one I hand out, effectively you can. But usually it is smart contest perform if you are just directly deceiving and lying to someone to basically say you are making your lie this believable.
I think I might go into a lore. I'm thinking of making Ryda into, like, maybe a charming espionage person. Despite them being them, they will put on the facade of being charming.
Nice.
You know, saying the good words that people like to hear, even though Ryda
Nice.
doesn't care for it at all.
I do encourage some observation of your specialty points. I definitely do, because, like, remember, the first 2 are the same price for every single category, so It actually ends up being pretty cheap to increase it stuff especially if you do a spread.
Ooh,
And those points can
speaking
make a
of-
difference after all to your dice rolls. So
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'm gonna get survival because after I get that point, I can actually start getting different stuff to level 2.
Oh, right,
like
because
stealth
your
alert.
survival skill is 1.
Yep.
yeah,
So
And you
there
max
goes
out
the
on how
XP.
much that is, yeah.
that is good to
Okay.
increase.
I couldn't get more alert or stealth if I wanted to, which
Wait,
those are very good for espionage.
do fight and survival and contests have any limits, or can you just up those all to 5?
You can up them all to 5. They
Okay.
aren't limited by Pokemon species like main attributes are.
Right, it's just the main attributes
Mhm.
that have caps. Okay. All right.
I'm also gonna buy 2 points in alert.
Oh, okay.
I've been on alert for a very long time.
I feel like your alertness is improving, so
Unalert.
that makes sense.
Part of me wonders if I should have Tucker get a tick towards obtaining the strength move.
The strength. Yeah, push Johnson around some more and eventually earn it. Also, is your belly drum still active, Ralph? I noticed you still have those stats up.
No,
for
it
that.
would not be.
Oh,
active.
absolutely not.
Okay,
By
didn't
now.
think so.
It would have worn off.
Let's see. Is the defense special defense is part of your equipment, right? Or is that also the belly drum?
No. I feel like that was that my.
I think that was from stockpile.
That might have been stockpile.
Okay, I'll remove that too because that's probably going
Yeah.
off too. All right. Neutrality. Also, I guess it would be worth remarking that if anybody has any missing HP, they can probably recover that in willpower and stuff.
Yes, if you have missing HP or missing willpower, you may recover it because you are going to sleep.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing a long rest.
I'm just gonna overwrite the DM and say it myself because I know we're taking a long rest. So,
No longer injured.
yay!
The only caveat would be Tucker would probably only recover half will if you had any missing.
Fortunately, no. Unless he had to spend willpower to carry Jocelyn, he's fine. Probably should have had to do a strength roll. Honestly, you kind of let me get away easy on that one.
I probably should have, but also it was just too funny.
Mhm, mhm.
And also much less suffering to just have Tucker be able to do it. It just took you a while.
I just imagine the whole scene was quite awkward. Like Tucker half carrying, half resisting getting squished by this rather big, crocodile.
The entirety of Tucker's outing with Jocelyn feels like it is an episode from a children's show, and it's wonderful.
I look forward to the fan art that possibly generates for this episode. And Zabachi,
yeah.
if you're
There's a
watching,
lot of-
thank you again for the inevitable picture you will probably draw. And if you don't, that's fine too. Zabachi is kind of, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Zabachi is more or less consistently drawing a thumbnail image for every thumbnail, and it's really appreciated. He doesn't have to do it, obviously. If he wants to take a break, I completely get it. But he's been very consistent about that. It's been very helpful. Because other people do fan art too, but he's always doing the colored fan art, and he gives me a transparent image so I can slot it in real easy. He's just making life really easy for me on that. So thank you very much, Sabachi, and thank you all the people who do fan art. I will try to feature some other fan art from other people too, if you guys draw stuff. I do kind of doing a variety, and Zabachi understands too. If he draws me a thumbnail image and I pick somebody else, he's totally cool with it too. So, but yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys. This was a lot of fun, and I feel like we just had a really good episode. Everybody had good scenes. Kyrio, thank you so much for all the voice acting. That was a lot of fun as well to hear you.
Yeah.
Gosh, I think
too much of a big deal, but it was cool.
yeah. Honestly, I think the disappointed leader scene was the best scene. It really hurt. Oh man, we disappointed.
Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that hitting Ralph.
I got to sit here and smile the entire time because I barely had to do anything. You guys did 75% or more of this session. I'm exceedingly happy.
I guess that's why it felt
Oh,
like
yeah,
a bit
it's
different.
great.
That's why. I guess that's also why it felt like in a shorter amount of time we did more, because it was a lot of player motivated scenes and stuff, a lot more player run, which was a lot of fun.
Mhm. I definitely think I talked the most with this session than I have so far.
I'm glad my voice held for the entire session, more or less. I still feels a little weak because I'm still sick, but I think eventually I'm going to have my voice fully recovered at this rate. By next Pokerole, I bet I'll be all better. So we'll see if I'm right about that or not. That's my prediction.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. But anyways, guys, thank you again for showing up, both viewers and players. I will see you all in a couple weeks for session 120. So I hope you guys look forward to that, because this was a good time. And I think the next session will be a good time as well. We're going to have a cool drama scene with the whole espionage, sneaky mission meeting thing, and see how that all goes down. I'm kind of curious. But that'll be for next time in a couple weeks. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's session, and I'll see you then.
Bye.